Hello and welcome back to the Fashion Scoop. Today we have Mudita Jaipuria with us, and she is the founder of a brand called Warehouse. She will tell you all about it. And today's episode is very interesting. It's about how to make luxury fashion affordable for the Indian audience and beyond. I don't know what her plans are. She will tell you all about it. So let's dive right in. Hi, Mudita.
Hi Priyanka, thank you so much for having me here.
How are you today?
Very well. It's excruciatingly hot, but it's
Yeah.
nice to be here. It's really nice and comfortable.
This pace is cool for you, right? I mean, you're not
Yes.
feeling that warm here?
No, I'm perfectly fine. It's all good. Yeah.
Great. And what are you wearing today?
So I'm wearing this very cool, fun new label that we're getting onto our website. Our website is going through a bit of a changeover. So I'm not sure if I want to reveal the name right now, if that's okay. But on the website, you'll be seeing some really, really cool, fun, upcoming homegrown brands, which are more relevant.
And the
to-
website is called Warehouse by Mudita. It's just Warehouse.
It's
like,
Warehouse
just for
by
the
Mudita.
listeners.
It's
Okay.
warehousebymudita.com. And initially we had a different roster. Now we're sort of metamorphosing into a more ready-to-wear, pret angle of things on the website at least.
Okay, great. You just spoke about upcoming designers. So what are your views on all these cool and upcoming trends and designers that we are seeing today? So how do you personally feel? Do you feel like we should embrace it, or we should stick to the older designers because they are more reliable, or what's the thing?
So, Priyanka, that's actually a very, very good question. That's something that we ask ourselves. I ask the team this and vice versa all the time. So, at Warehouse, something that we are sort of sticklers at, like even at the onboarding process that we're having right now, is quality. So, where in a place where new designers, new labels are great because sometimes they get a very fresh perspective to things. Something that we tend to observe over seasons is whether they are being able to maintain the quality of their fabric, of their finishing, of their embellishments, even their dispatch and deliveries. Because today it's great if a designer's trending or something, but what is their journey? Like right now, their fabrics and embellishments are great. What about after 6 months? Are those fabrics sustaining themselves? Is there any color bleed? Is there any color rub off or something? So that is what we tend to see as a brand, which is why you're seeing me experiment on myself. So we pretty much approach these designers as a buyer. We curate collections, we curate pieces from them. I see how they are sort of sitting on us and whether there's any wear and tear and stuff, and then we bring them on to our website.
Great. I love this answer. I mean, because, with new designers, it's always like a risk, which can be a good thing, or which
Yes.
can, the quality might deplete. So, as a buyer, it's very important to start trusting the brand eventually if they live
Absolutely.
up to their quality.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the quality of products, it's also about the quality of management, because the designer is so wrapped up in the design process. A lot of times they do not know how their brand is being handled across the assembly line. Because for us, when we start, okay, I'll have an initial conversation with the designer wherein we onboard him and all of that is done. Then it's my merchandiser in conversation with their merchandiser. It's my dispatch in conversation with their dispatch. That is when a lot of loopholes tend to come to the forefront.
Got it. So this got too technical.
Sorry.
All of us.
Sorry.
I mean, you're the expert, but
Sorry.
a lot of us are
Yeah.
laymen here. But I get your point.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like we should look at quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Of
you're trying to
course,
say.
of course.
Yeah, for a consumer. Yeah.
And I think that's what quiet luxury is all about, right? It's not about the logos anymore. I mean, back when, for example, I don't know whether that's before your time, but something like a kuch kuch hota, when there was
Okay.
polo sport, and is that before your time?
A little bit, yeah.
So that is a time when, there was just everything was about polo sport and polyester and this and that. that's done. Now people are all about quality and how, and sustainability, it's become a loose term in my,
Yeah.
it's something that everyone, like recently we had an onboarding at NIFT. NIFT had their placements and we onboarded 12 kids from NIFT placements. And it was
Like as interns or
no,
something?
not as interns. So we
Okay.
have a non-intern policy. Whoever comes on board is brought on as a proper employee and all of that. So we got people from postgrad and undergrad, and it was a 12 student thing. But every single person in their interview kept using the word sustainability, which honestly, I mean, with some people, I actually turned around and I got so irritated by the end of it that what exactly is the purpose of sustainability?
Half of them don't know the meaning of it. Please watch the podcast to know what sustainability is and don't use it loosely in your interviews.
It's not just that. I mean, for me, or maybe, I mean, I just hope this doesn't come across arrogantly or
No,
incorrectly.
we are just trying to inform.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's what I'm saying, because I don't know what happens at the forefront of things, right? But for me, sustainability is, if I'm buying a product, if I'm buying a dress, or if I'm buying any outfit, is it being able to sustain itself year on year on year? Or there are some labels that one wash and that outfit is done and it's dusted. It might as well be a duster. For me, that's sustainability. That whether that outfit is being able to sustain itself, whether the embellishments are not falling off and stuff. I've forgotten what your question was, though.
It's okay. That it doesn't matter.
Sorry.
Okay, so after all the roasting of college kids,
Sorry. Priyanka, don't do
let's
that.
no,
No.
it's actually helpful to them. If they will listen to this, they will actually know what not to do in an interview, and I
Yeah.
think that's great information.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just want to know, like, before we get more into this conversation about warehouse and about luxury and about fashion, I want to know, like, were you always like a business person, or you just wanted, like, you had an interest in fashion, or was it business and then you found a gap in this space?
So, Priyanka, I am 1985 born and brought up in a very typical Marwari family, wherein girls had to, there were the basic mandate was a social mandate was that you study, you do your school, you do your college, and then you get married. But for me, on the contrary, both my grandfathers were extremely progressive and they were reformists in their own way. They did not want me to live a typical mandated life. Like our dinner table conversation was, the newspaper would come out and they would be like, okay, this is what's happening in the country. What are your views on it? Now, this I'm talking about early 90s.
So you're used to giving interviews since the start.
Yes.
Nice.
In a way,
Hmm.
in a way. But yeah, they would ask me questions like that. They would also, even about finances, I would get an allowance and then they would tell me, how exactly do you want to invest that money? How do you want that money to grow? And such and such. Also, in a particular, in their own way, they were kind of training me towards being an entrepreneur. It wasn't just, okay, this is your play money. No. If I wanted something, I had to earn for it. I mean, I had to earn it, in their eyes at least. If not in, I mean, if not in anybody else's, but definitely in their eyes, I had to earn it. I had to sort of, I mean, there was never a no, but at the same time, uh, you had to work towards it.
Yeah.
Even if it's in terms of thought or something. And that is something that I'm passing generationally with my kids as well. I mean, it's very easy to sort of sit at home and chill and Netflix and popcorn and all of that. But I think if as the previous generation, if you don't coach them, if you do not train them to sort of come out there, it'll never happen.
That's
So
true.
yes,
Is this in all Marwadi families, or it was
I
just
would like to
yours?
think that it's all Marwari families. I would like to
I
think
would like
that
to think that it's all families.
I would like to.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I mean, that's not the way that I was brought up. That you just are doing your hair and makeup and salon and da, 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 da. No, that was not my life. My life was, what are we doing for the upliftment of the community? What are we doing for our own? How are you enriching yourself, not just monetarily, but even mentally, even spiritually? That is what my childhood was like. Having said that, say early 2000s again, when that whole process started, I went up to my father and I said, I want to work, and I do not want to, what's the use of all that conversation if eventually at the end of the day I just have to get married or whatever.
True.
But yes, I started working at the age of 21. I started with my internship at Rohit Gandhi Rahul Khanna.
Oh, so were
And
you always interested in fashion or?
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
But in the business aspect of fashion. So when I started Pearl, even though I did my course in fashion design and technology, back then they didn't have a business course for fashion. So I did FDT, but it slowly evolved into, I mean, my interest was always in the business aspect of things. Even when I started interning with Rohit and Rahul or with Namrita or whatever, the understanding that I got, even though their clothes are fabulous and their production is immense, a lot because of there not being a merchandiser at the time. Both the teams had designers and the most fabulous ones, but there was no merchandiser. There was nobody giving them the business intellect. Now, suppose if you're making a line of kurtas, you're making 5 different kurtas, and again we are going technical, but
No worries. We can listen to a little bit of technical stuff.
so if you're making 5 different kurtas, now out of 5, 3 kurtas are doing fantastic business, but you're just not making them because on a production front, you can only make 5 of each. But you're making other 2 which are not selling, but you're still continuing to make them, right? That is what a merchandiser does today, that you minimize the production of what's not selling and you maximize the production of what's selling.
Okay.
Back then, I would
can
like
learn
to
a lot from you. This is interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So back then, that's what we did. That's what I think I would like to say that I contributed. That why are we producing something that is not selling, as opposed to limiting our production for what's selling? No, ये बना दिया stores में, ये टांग दिया, इससे ज़्यादा नहीं टांग सकते. But buddy, it's selling. No, let's make more of it.
And were you an intern or a full-time employee?
So with Rohit and Rahul, I was an intern.
And you had the courage to go up to them and
They
say
were very
this?
approachable.
Whoa.
They were always very approachable, and there was, I mean, it was like my second home. Even now, I cannot call them by their first names. It automatically comes out as Rahul sir, Rohit sir, because there's a lot
That
of
happens.
respect.
You get
Yeah.
used to it.
No, more than that, it's a lot of respect. They treated me like a daughter, and as a result, I also give them the same respect. So
Lovely.
yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me ki how did warehouse, like I know this is like a mandatory question that we have to ask, but how did this whole concept start, and like, what does warehouse mean? Why did you think of this sort of a name, and what do you guys actually do?
Okay, so how did warehouse start? It honestly started from a conversation with all of them, that they have this inventory, and at the same time, okay, can I give you the honest answer?
Yes, please, we need honesty.
Okay, so I'll tell you what I had after I got married and after I had my first baby and all of that. I had 3 to 4 weddings in my family. Okay, back to back, back to back. My cousin was getting married, my husband's cousin was getting married, best friends getting married, etc., etc. Everyone had 10 functions.
My
Now,
God.
I could not afford to buy full price pieces for all weddings. That means some 40 outfits.
That's so impractical. Yeah.
As a result, I was like always looking out for deals and scoping it out and etc. On the contrary, when I would travel internationally, I would buy one thing from the main street and stuff, and for my other stuff, I would go to the villages. I would go to Lavili, I would go to Foxtown, and I was like, this is such a fantastic deal. Why not have this in India? Now, because of the fact that I had worked as a merchandiser, I came back, I shot this idea across. And thankfully, the design community was very accepting towards the thing, because at the same time now, everyone, whether they admit it, not admit it, they do tend to accumulate inventory.
Yeah.
Okay. And you want to be able to sell it at the right price with the right aesthetics to the right people. So that is the honest truth of how it started. And it started off in Okla. In our factory in Okla, we weren't expecting more than 50 to 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
But Priyanka, I kid you not, our first event had some 400, 500 women in Okla at
Wow.
9 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not prepared for it
So
because
Indian people love luxury.
they love luxury. It's sort of ingrained in us also now. I mean, if
Yeah.
you go back in time, right from things like khaskhas and, mogra and silverware and stuff, that is something that we are sort of, it's a part of Indian
Yeah,
culture.
we have a
Yeah,
rich heritage and culture. That's true.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice. So when you talk about like going to the villages and purchasing, a concept that we prominently see, like let's say in London or the US or like any, like in Dubai or whatever. And I personally love to shop from these places as well. Like in London, I remember I had just gone to this place called Bester Village.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like an hour. You take a train and you go.
Yeah.
So of course I love it. But the only thing I found which was a problem was that you do not get like the fresh or the latest collection. And I mean, you of course you're paying like a lesser price and you're getting the brand. So for me, like I'm okay with it. I'm not somebody who needs to have like the latest collection, okay, or I'll feel like, oh my god, I'm lesser than someone. It's not like that.
Yeah.
But I want to know from you that because you have like a similar format, so how do Indian consumers react to that? Like, are they okay with that? Are they like me, or are they very conscious about this fact?
So there are two sorts of people, and not every customer has the same mindset.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who are very trend focused and who are very sort of, who are very focused on what they're buying, what season is it. So we get asked this question a lot every time we announce an event, every time we announce an edit, that what collection is this? Now, first and foremost, the collection that comes into warehouse, it is an end of season sale. So, for example, now that you see the events that are starting, like we have a series of events that are starting right away, that is your spring summer 24.
Okay.
So it's not like an adversely outdated collection. No. At the same time, in the Indian community, I mean, I can speak about warehouse in this aspect at least, that for at all warehouse events, a lot of designers do offload their fresh collections as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because say for example, we have October edit which just went. Sorry, our March edit which just went past. So say something that was in production in December, Jan, and it has been in stores for 2 months. They will get it for the March edit and they'll liquidate.
Ah,
Okay,
nice.
so you do see a lot of that right now. Again, you'll be seeing a lot of it starting with all the EOSs happening right now. Um, if I have to comment about the villages, it's a separate mentality. When you go to say a Bicester or Laville or Foxton, you're going with that mindset wherein you're okay buying whatever is available, as am I. If I have to buy something that is not available in the village, then I would look at such brands. Then I would look at a Louis Vuitton, I would look at a Chanel or a Dior or something which is not available in the villages.
Yeah.
So it becomes a matter of what you're comfortable to buy. For example, Ralph Lauren is something that is only available in the villages, and it's available at the most fantastic cost. Funny story there. I was in Bicester last year.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up a bag for £200. My friend bought the same bag from the city for £1,000.
Oh, that hurts.
That hurts so bad.
That hurts.
But I can't tell you how happy our husbands were, because her husband was sitting crestfallen and I was like, yay. And my husband was like, so you know that story. So it was, I mean, for me, it's a win. I mean, why should I spend 5 times the amount when I'm getting it for 1/5?
Yeah. But like for the friend, I feel sorry for her, because if I was that friend, I would be crying. I was like, no.
She was ready to murder me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that always happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have spoken so much about designers and like your brand, but we have not yet discovered what are the designers, like who are the designers, or what kind of brands do you have? I think that's a very important question to address.
Absolutely. So for us, when we started, our single mandate was that if you're an FDCI or a designer registered with Lakme and Rise, so only then are you applicable for a warehouse edit. Starting with, I mean, warehouse had, when we started, we were only with 11 designers. So from Tarun Thailiani, Rohit Bal, Anju Modi, Rohit and Rahul. Who else did we have at the time? Riddhi Mehra. And yeah, so we had these 10, 11 designers who have been with us from the very beginning. So starting with all these pioneers, and now of course our roster goes to about 60, 70 designers for the offline edit. For the website, we are looking at, as I told you initially as well, we are looking at getting some really quality designers and brands for the same. Coming back to offline, now we have Tarun Thailiani, who's always been a great and strong supporter. For our individual edits, we work with Gaurav Gupta.
Tarun Talyani is very sweet. I
Yeah.
met him at one of our events, and he's like a very lively and a very
Yeah,
sweet
he's
person.
he's adorable. He's been a mentor to us from the very beginning. So between him, Rohit Gandhi, Rahul Khanna, Anju Modi, Rohit Bal, even Rohit Bal's been a fantastic support all through. Shantanu Nikhil, of course, how can I forget? Again, formidable label, great business acumen, and every conversation results in so much learning from them as well. Papa Don't Preach.
Oh, amazing. Shubhika.
Yeah, yes, Shubhika. Ridhima Bhasin, Riddhi Mehra. So yeah, some great labels. There of course there are lots
What are
more.
the newer labels that you have? Like, some interesting
In terms of the
labels.
newer ones that we started collaborating with last year was Papa Don't Preach.
Okay.
In terms of someone newer than that, Nitin Bal Chauhan, Vani Vats, Mahima Mahajan. I think Mahima Mahajan is doing fantastically at all warehouse events. Swa by Sonam and Paras Modi. Again, amazing product. So for me, Priyanka, if I were to see, like, every time a profile comes to me that, this designer, this brand is interested in the show, is interested in collaborating, be it the show or the website, the first thing that we do is we call for the pieces.
Okay.
We call for the pieces, we assess the pieces, and then of course we also assess the brand profile. Is there an appetite for that brand in the market? Are clients asking for that brand, that product? And then we onboard them.
Got it. So I'll ask you the most basic question as a consumer, or let's say if I come to your event and I want to buy something.
Have you ever been?
I've never, but I'll come for the next one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
so let's say, I see like a lehenga on a website which I really like, and then I have something in mind, and let's say it costs like about 80,000 on the website. So if I come and I find a similar design at your place, so how much can I expect to pay for it?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
This happened with a very, very close relative. She got married in the month of November. She paid 4.5 lakhs for a lehenga. That same lehenga came to me at 1.5.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine?
That's sad.
And she was supposed to come for the show. We actually hid the lehenga while she was there because we didn't want someone to start like weeping
Yeah.
over there.
My God. When I get married, I'm coming to you.
Please, please, please. Of course.
I mean, there's still some time.
Of
but
course,
Yeah.
of course. But whenever, please
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. So basically, it's like less than half of the
Yeah.
price.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so what has happened is that warehouse has been around for about 8 years now. And there is this change that we are seeing. People are not so much focused on price anymore.
Okay.
Earlier, a bride's trousseau was very price driven, that a lehenga has to be of a certain value, etc. Now, I think people are so free flowing. I mean, of course, there are all sorts of people, but it's more about the visual appeal.
Okay, I'll also ask you a fun question. So I remember like earlier people had this thing, even we've seen in movies ki mujhe Kareena wala lehenga chahiye, mujhe ye wala chahiye. So are people still like that? Do they have that mentality?
Yeah.
Really?
Of course. People come
Wow.
with pictures, people come with their homework of what they want to buy. We have some really adorable stories from back in the day when we've actually had a family weeping, and they got so emotional because they didn't think that there would would be able to buy their daughter a designer lehenga, and it was very sweet because the
Oh,
entire
that's so
family, yeah,
touching.
yeah, yeah, it was very, very touching. It was very touching, and we just even, I mean, us as a team got so emotional. Along with them, we celebrated together. That it was a big deal.
So you are doing like some sort of a fashion social service.
Nothing like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, it's always nice. And I mean, very honestly, that's how it started, right? To be able to open up and bridge the gap. That here you have a market which is now what happens is now, for example, not about this family in particular, but now say, suppose for me, now I wanted outfits, right? My occasions were all set to go. If I would have not found outfits, at my price point, what would I have done? I would have gone to somebody who would have given me the closest thing to what I was looking for.
Hmm.
As a result, you're sort of feeding the imitation industry.
Yeah,
By doing this, you're eradicating imitation, you're killing your own competition.
that's smart.
So, which is why, thankfully,
More
even now,
brands, you can be smarter and you can come to her.
yes, of course, we just had a brand junket in which we invited all the brands and we shared all these insights with them. That by doing this, it's that one day of promotion that you do. Okay, in Delhi, it's like 2 days of promotion in a year, once in March, once in October, and you end up gutting the imitation industry. You're
Hmm.
getting the same product, whatever's lying in your go down, whatever's lying in your warehouse, just send it to us and we'll liquidate it for you.
Lovely.
So,
This
yeah.
makes me think, even though the story of the family that you told me is like really touching and heartwarming, but I want to know that why is India so obsessed with designer lehengas and designer wear for their wedding? Like, if you could answer that.
Okay. I think it's more of a status symbol.
Hmm.
It's more of, it becomes a matter of conversation that, oh, XYZ wore so and so. And it's not just, I wouldn't say it's not just India, it's everywhere. The
Ah,
bride wore who. It's not about the bride wore what, it's about the bride wore who.
correct.
So, yeah.
Got it. So basically, we live in a status-driven world in a
In
way.
a way, in a way.
Nice. I,
But
I don't think there's anything bad about it, but
it's each to its own.
yeah,
It's
each to
it's
its
it's
own.
each to its own. It's about what you feel good in.
Yeah,
There's no point in wearing a 10 lakh rupee lehenga and feeling like shit.
true.
If you're wearing a 2 lakh rupee lehenga and you're feeling like $1 million and you're having a good time at your wedding, that's money's worth, right? Then you're
Yeah.
getting your money's worth. Yeah.
Absolutely. So when you told me that you have like an offline and an online model, I want to know, like, from a consumer perspective, when people come to you, do they do Indian people still love to touch and feel the luxury products and then buy it, or are they absolutely okay with doing it online?
So, Priyanka, one thing that I've learned in the past 7 years that not everyone's the same. There
Mm-hmm.
are all sorts of people, they all have their points of view, and everyone's point of view is correct. If you look at a group of 10 people, you will have people who will only buy after experiencing the product, and that's also okay. On the contrary, earlier when we launched our website, we were looking at more of traffic from outside Delhi, but now we have a lot of people, like women like me, like I don't get time to go and shop physically.
Yeah.
I end up shopping online. All shopping that I do for myself and my kids and everything at home, it's all done online, down to groceries as well. So there are definitely online shoppers, and I don't think the touch and feel is it's not a common mandate across the board. No, it's
Okay.
it's it's sort of what works for whoever.
So it totally
Yeah,
depends on
yeah,
the
yeah.
person.
Yeah. Maybe the price point could be a factor, that if you're looking at a heavy outfit,
Hmm.
then yeah, you may want to experience it. But we have done sales on video calls as well, wherein we've done outfits for the whole family on,
Oh,
someone's
wow.
called us from, say, Thailand or Dubai or something, that we want coordinated outfits for the whole family. And it's been very happily coordinated, and the client's
So
been
the
fairly sad.
measurements and
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
is
yeah.
done by
It's
you.
all done. It's all done. It's all managed, and it's fairly seamless.
Okay, got it. So you guys are just like in India or international as well? You just
We
said
do
we were.
ship. We do
Okay.
ship internationally from the website.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. So, I want to understand from you that you have such a great business now. It's like a good model. Probably it's working for you. So, what were the challenges that you faced, like while building all this up, and how long did it take to actually get this going?
So we started in 2016. Challenges, so it's like, I mean, I've said this before, warehouse is like my third baby. So just like how you have challenges for a child, when they're a newborn, you have different challenges. When they start going to school, they have different challenges. Even with warehouse, there have been different challenges across the board. When we started, it was about getting brand integrity, honesty, getting people to trust the brand. The first thing people are like, why are you selling it for 70% off? There's some jhol, is it genuine?
Hmm.
So that was the first thing. Getting the right designers on board was another challenge. But we've sort of, touch wood, that's fairly cemented. Now the challenge is to maintain and scale.
Okay,
You know what I mean? So now
understood.
it's about every edit, every single day. It's about how are you maintaining. See, now warehouse is synonymous with the brands for sale. Today, if they're working with us, they expect a certain ROI. Now it's my job to make sure that I give them that
Hmm.
plus plus.
Okay.
And then we are not the kind of people that, okay, fine, now we have a brand, now the team is handling. We don't function like that. At every show, be it a show in Delhi, Hyderabad, Calcutta, Mumbai, wherever, we are there ourselves. My husband and I, my husband's my partner in this, so both of us are there for all shows. We make sure that every single brand is well taken care of. They are getting their money's worth.
Hmm.
They're getting their ROI. So to maintain that on a consistent basis, and to make sure that if they're sold worth an X amount, this time they have to sell 10 plus that.
Understood. And is there any funny story along the whole journey?
Oh, so many, so many. I'm trying to think which one can I say without offending anybody, because
Okay.
there have been so many. Like the first time when we did this, people thought कि ठीक है हो जाएगा, इतना हो जाएगा, उतना हो जाएगा, how much, blah, blah, blah. Uh, but I literally have this one story. We did so about GPW? So there's this one
No, I have no
property of
idea.
warehouse, which is
Okay.
Get Powered by Warehouse.
Okay.
And in that, we are a sales aggregator. So a brand comes to us when they want that immediate infusion of sales.
Mm.
Okay. So this one brand, they approached us that we want to do this GPW with you, etc., etc. Our target is about this much. I don't know what target they gave us, but we gave them a crazy sale, a 1 day crazy, crazy, crazy sale. The brand owner called, he was in flight. So on Wi-Fi, he must have got the number at the end of the day. And he called me from flight and I could hear him jumping on the flight, Priyanka. I got so scared. I was like,
Oh God.
is that turbulence? He's like, no, I'm jumping.
You're like, I don't want this flight to crash. Yeah.
Yeah, that was traumatizing because I was like, I hope nothing like the other passengers don't find out that this is happening because of warehouse. But he was jumping
No, they
on
should
flight.
find out. No, then more and more people will come to you.
that was scary. But yeah,
But
that's a fun.
nice.
Yeah, that was a good story.
Okay, so that's like a great story that you shared. I also want to know from you, what's the future of luxury fashion in India?
So I think luxury is just set to scale in India because, first of all, there's this huge spike that we're seeing in disposable income. We are seeing a change with regards to double income households. Now, men and women both are working. As a result, there's a little more splurge money. So we are seeing that change. Plus, earlier, luxury buying was centered around weddings. Now it's the shift that I'm seeing, at least in my consumer group, is that a lot more people are buying above the age of 35. Once they've had kids and the guy is settled in at his work, etc., etc. Now they're looking at acquiring a piece of luxury for themselves on a more regular basis,
Yeah.
which is why we are also moving towards luxury. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And how are you pivoting? Like, how is warehouse pivoting and hopping on this
So,
luxury
Priyanka,
trend?
from when we started to now, we are now sitting on a database of about 3.5 lakh buyers, customers of warehouse. Now, these are not just people with money, these are people who like to spend. So, even if for any brand, if I were to put 100 people in a room who are the wealthiest people in the country, but if they are misers, it does not make sense for the brand. For warehouse, what we've done is that we have accumulated that trust, that faith of people who like to spend money,
Okay.
okay, who want to spend and who want to acquire luxury. And that is what we bring to a brand. A result of that is a true blue luxury show that we are launching this September, wherein we are getting all of top line of luxury, be it jewelers, be it people from the world of couture, from the world of automobiles, from the world of art. We are getting a bird's eye view of luxury all under one roof. And yeah, and that is where we are moving. So while warehouse will always be our keystone, that's where we started from. But we are moving towards luxury and giving the people of Delhi a true luxury experience.
Okay. Lovely.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay. So, I mean, that was a great conversation. We got to learn a lot, and
Thank
I'm sure
you.
like the listeners will,
I hope so.
yeah, yeah. So let's play like a small game.
Sure.
This is like a mandatory thing that we do. It's fun. It's nothing like too
Okay.
serious. So just be quick about it. Okay?
Sure.
Okay. Let's go. If you weren't running a fashion business, which sector would you prefer? Education, pharma, music, AI, tech, or finance?
Finance.
Okay. Marwadi.
Yes.
Colors of the season keep changing. It was cherry red, then became olive green, and now butter yellow. So, which out of these do you prefer for yourself?
Cherry red. Which was the other one?
It was cherry red, then became olive green, and now people are like loving butter yellow.
I think I'm more towards yellow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you are like on the latest trend that's going on. Nice.
Sort of, yeah.
Nice. Okay. So, fine dining at a Michelin starred restaurant or a private chef cooking a luxurious meal at home? What do you prefer?
Fine dining.
Okay. And what's your favorite
Cuisine?
cuisine? Yeah.
I like Chinese. I like Italian. I like good food. That's also Marwari.
You
Yeah.
like good food.
I
Great.
like good food.
Okay. So, would you rather be an art collector or a wine collector?
Wine collector.
So, you love your wine.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you a morning person or a night owl?
Night owl.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the end of our conversation. I
Thank
hope you
you.
had fun.
Yes, I did.
Is there anything that you would like to add or say like towards the end?
I'm all good. I would like to see all of you at the next warehouse event for sure. Whenever you guys are coming, please do let me know. I'll be happy to take you around.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Priyanka.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you loved the episode. If you have any comments for us, of course, please comment in the comment section or like do let us know. You can text us on pods@indiatoday.com or 8588966996. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.